Let me ask you a simple question. If there were a bomb inside your house, ticking quietly, would you wait until it explodes to do something? No sound, no warning, just ticking. That's what uncontrolled high blood pressure is. A silent bomb, buried deep in your chest, in your brain, in your kidneys, ticking away day by day. No pain, no symptoms, no flashing red lights, until one day, boom. A stroke, a heart attack, a collapse you never saw coming. And the cruel part? It was preventable. But no one told you the real cost of ignoring it. No one told you how high blood pressure can slowly steal your life, not all at once, but piece by piece. So in this video, we're going to walk through what truly happens if you don't control your blood pressure. Not in theory, but in the real, terrifying truth doctors rarely have time to explain. But don't worry, by the end, we won't just leave you with fear. We'll leave you with tools. We'll leave you with hope. And you'll discover it's never too late to take back control. But first, you need to see what's waiting if you don't act. And I'll warn you, it's worse than you think. Let's begin. You see, high blood pressure doesn't knock on your door. It doesn't come with a fever. It doesn't send you running to the ER. It just rises, quietly, slowly, relentlessly. In fact, most people walking around with dangerously high blood pressure feel perfectly normal. You might feel strong. You might be active. You might even say, "I've had high blood pressure for years and I feel just fine." But that's the trap. That's how it works. It's like a leak in the ceiling you never notice until one day the roof collapses. Or a colony of termites slowly chewing through your home's foundation. You don't hear them, you don't see them, but when the floor gives way, it's already too late. That's why doctors call it the silent killer. Because by the time you feel something, a tightness in your chest, a pounding in your head, a moment of confusion or dizziness, the real damage may have already been done. And here's the sobering truth. 1 in every 3 adults over 60 in the US has high blood pressure. Nearly half of them don't even know it. And even among those who do, many choose to ignore it because they don't feel sick. But the body doesn't need symptoms to be suffering. Every day that your blood pressure stays too high, your organs are under siege. Your heart is working overtime. Your arteries are growing stiffer, narrower. Your kidneys are struggling to filter waste. Your brain is bathing in pressure it was never built to handle. And the most dangerous part? Your body adapts. It gets used to the pressure. Like a car engine running too hot for too long, it doesn't break right away. But one day, a belt snaps, a gasket blows, and the entire system fails. And when that day comes, it doesn't come gently. It comes like a storm in the night, fast, violent, and without warning. So what happens first? Which part of the body breaks down before the others? The answer is your heart. And in the next section, you'll see just how quickly high blood pressure turns a strong, beating heart into a ticking time bomb. Let's go deeper. The heart is a tireless worker. It beats over 100,000 times a day in, day out, without asking for rest, without missing a shift. But when your blood pressure is too high, you're asking that heart to do its job with a weight strapped to its back. Every pump becomes harder. Every contraction meets resistance. Imagine trying to ride your bicycle uphill with the brakes on. At first, your heart gets stronger to compensate. The muscle thickens, especially in the left ventricle, the part responsible for pumping blood to the entire body. But this isn't healthy growth. It's not strength. It's strain. It's swelling under pressure. Over time, that overworked heart becomes stiff. It can't relax properly. Blood starts backing up. Fluid collects in the lungs. You feel short of breath walking to the mailbox, tired after folding laundry. You think it's just age, but it's not. It's early heart failure, a slow, steady decline masked by the illusion of getting older. And the longer your blood pressure goes uncontrolled, the more damage is done. Your arteries, the vital highways that deliver blood, start to harden and narrow. Tiny cracks form inside their walls, and your body tries to repair them with cholesterol. This is how plaque builds up. This is how blockages form. Until one day, a piece breaks off. It travels like a rogue passenger down the bloodstream and lodges itself in a coronary artery. The blood flow stops, the oxygen stops, and a part of your heart muscle begins to die. This is a heart attack. It doesn't always come with chest pain. Sometimes it's just nausea, or sweating, or jaw pain, or nothing at all, especially in seniors. But when it strikes, it rewrites the rest of your life, not just physically, but emotionally. Fear, dependence, loss of independence. Suddenly, walking across the room requires help. Suddenly, your plans shrink. And all because the pressure, your pressure, was left unchecked. But here's the hardest truth. For many, the first sign of heart disease is death. No warning, no second chance. And yet, the heart isn't even the most fragile victim. Because there's another organ, soft, sensitive, vital, that breaks even faster when the pressure stays high. It's your brain. And what happens there can leave you alive, but not living. Let's talk about it. Your brain, 3 pounds of delicate tissue. It stores your memories. It powers your movement. It holds your voice, your smile, your laughter, your love. And yet, it only takes seconds, just a few seconds without oxygen, to lose it all. When your blood pressure is uncontrolled, your brain becomes a battlefield. The arteries feeding it grow fragile, weakened by constant pressure pounding against them, day after day. Think of those vessels like garden hoses. Now imagine turning the water pressure up too high every single day for years. Tiny cracks begin to form, the walls thin, until one day, one bursts. Blood spills into the brain. Brain cells suffocate, and within minutes, parts of your mind go dark, maybe forever. This is a hemorrhagic stroke caused by a burst blood vessel, and it is often deadly. But that's not the only kind. High blood pressure also causes ischemic strokes, when narrowed vessels are choked off by plaque, or when a clot gets stuck like a cork in a bottle. And here's the terrifying truth. A stroke doesn't just hurt, it steals. It robs you of your movement, your speech, your ability to swallow, your independence. One day, you're holding your grandchild. The next, you can't lift your arm. You might understand everything happening around you, but you can't say a word. You try to speak, but nothing comes out. Or worse, your mind, once sharp, is now lost in a fog that never lifts. Every 40 seconds, someone in the U.S. has a stroke, and every 4 minutes, someone dies from one. Most of them had high blood pressure. But here's what makes it worse. Stroke doesn't always end in death. Sometimes it leaves you here, but trapped, alive in body, disconnected in mind. And even if you survive, recovery is long, painful, and uncertain. Relearning how to walk, relearning how to feed yourself, maybe never returning to who you were. And it all began with a number on a blood pressure cuff you ignored. A silent signal you thought didn't matter. You may not have felt it, but your brain did. And while the heart and brain are most often in the spotlight, there are quieter victims too. Organs you may not even think about until they stop working. And when they do, life changes in ways you never imagined. Next up, we'll talk about your kidneys and your eyes. Two more systems silently suffering under pressure until they suddenly scream for help. Stay with me. You need to hear this. Your kidneys. Two bean-shaped filters, each no bigger than your fist. They work night and day, quietly, faithfully, cleansing your blood, balancing your minerals, keeping your fluids just right. But high blood pressure turns them into battlegrounds. You see, the tiny blood vessels inside your kidneys are like fine mesh screens, delicate, intricate, precise. But when your blood pressure is too high, those vessels are slammed, stretched, and scarred. It's like blasting water through a coffee filter with a fire hose. Eventually, the filter tears, and it stops working. When that happens, waste starts to build up in your blood. Fluid leaks into your legs. You feel bloated, heavy, tired. Your doctor might call it chronic kidney disease. But what it really means is that your filters, your natural detox system, are shutting down. And if nothing changes, dialysis becomes your new routine. 3 times a week, hours in a chair, needles in your arms. A machine doing what your body no longer can. And that's not all. High blood pressure also steals your vision, slowly, silently. The same force that damages your heart and brain also injures the tiny vessels in your eyes. You might start to notice blurred vision, difficulty reading, lights that seem too bright, dark spots creeping into your sight. It's called hypertensive retinopathy, and it's more common than you think. Left unchecked, it can lead to permanent vision loss. Imagine not being able to see your grandchildren's faces, not being able to read a birthday card, not being able to drive or cook or recognize a loved one's smile, all because the pressure was too high for too long. These aren't rare cases, they're real, and they're happening right now to people who feel fine. But the worst part isn't just the physical damage. It's how this slow collapse begins to chip away at your spirit. Because living with high blood pressure that's out of control doesn't just hurt your body, it hurts how you live. In the next section, we'll talk about what high blood pressure does to your quality of life and your ability to enjoy the things you love most. You might be surprised by what you've already lost, without even realizing it. Some losses are visible, a limp, a scar, a cane, but others happen quietly, hidden behind the eyes, beneath the smile. That's what makes cognitive decline so terrifying. And yes, high blood pressure can cause that too. You might not feel it happening. You forget a name here, a word there. You walk into a room and can't remember why. It seems harmless at first, just part of getting older, right? But over time, those small lapses become bigger. You repeat questions, you get lost on familiar roads, you forget appointments, birthdays, bills, and then one day, you forget who you are. This isn't just aging, this is vascular dementia, a type of cognitive decline directly linked to high blood pressure. Why? Because the same pressure that damages your heart and kidneys also starves your brain of oxygen. Tiny blood vessels in your brain become narrowed, blocked, or burst, and with every silent injury, your memory takes a hit. Your clarity fades, your focus slips. This isn't just about forgetting where you put the keys. This is about forgetting the names of your children. The connection between high blood pressure and dementia is now undeniable. Studies show that people with poorly controlled blood pressure in their 50s and 60s are at significantly higher risk for Alzheimer's and other forms of memory loss later in life. And here's the heartbreaking part. Once those memories fade, you can't get them back. No surgery can fix it. No pill can restore a decade of disappearing clarity. You might still be alive, still breathing, still eating, but the lights are dim, and the world, once vibrant, is now a quiet, confusing blur. Your loved ones will grieve you while you're still here. This is the true cost of ignoring high blood pressure, not just heart attacks or strokes, but a gradual erasing of self. And it doesn't just affect your brain, because when you lose your memory, your energy, your independence, you lose your quality of life. You stop doing the things you love. You start avoiding social events. You feel tired, foggy, dependent. In the next section, we'll talk about how uncontrolled blood pressure affects your day-to-day living, your sleep, and even your mental health. Because sometimes the biggest damage isn't in an organ, it's in how life starts to feel smaller, less joyful, less you. High blood pressure doesn't just strike you down with one dramatic event. Sometimes it just slowly shrinks your world. You stop walking as far. You avoid the stairs. You feel winded tying your shoes. You're not sleeping well, tossing and turning at night, waking up feeling more tired than when you went to bed. You blame your age. But age isn't the only thing stealing your energy. The constant pressure inside your arteries makes every system in your body work harder. It's exhausting. You feel it in your bones, even if you don't have the words for it. You might find yourself saying, "I just don't feel like myself anymore. I get irritated more easily. I don't enjoy things like I used to." That's not just aging. That's your body sending distress signals. High blood pressure is strongly linked to fatigue, anxiety, even depression. Why? Because when your heart is overworked, your brain foggy, your sleep broken, your mood suffers too. You start turning down dinner invitations. You stop walking the dog. You sit more, laugh less. You don't even notice it happening, until one day you realize life got smaller. And for what? A condition you can manage, a number you can monitor, a change you can start today. But first, you need to see the full picture. Because if all of this sounds frightening, heart failure, stroke, memory loss, poor sleep, depression, you might be wondering, is it too late? What if you've had high blood pressure for years? Can you still turn things around? Let's answer that question right now. Maybe, as you've been listening, a quiet thought has been circling in the back of your mind. Is it too late for me? You've lived with high blood pressure for years. You've skipped a few doctor visits. You've taken the pills, sometimes. And you've told yourself, "I feel fine." But now, maybe for the first time, you're realizing what's really at stake. Your heart, your brain, your independence, your memories, your joy. So, what now? Can years of damage be undone? Can your future still be brighter than your past? The answer is yes, but only if you start now. Because while high blood pressure can take so much from you, the moment you choose to fight back, you start taking it all back. In the next section, I'll show you exactly what happens when you start controlling your blood pressure. The transformation that begins inside your body, even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. And you might be surprised by how fast things can change. Let's take that first step together. Here's the good news. Your body wants to heal. It's been asking for your help, maybe for years. And the moment you begin lowering your blood pressure, something incredible starts to happen. Your heart doesn't have to work as hard. Your arteries begin to relax, allowing blood to flow freely again. Your kidneys get a break, filtering waste more efficiently. Your brain receives the oxygen it craves, and your eyes start to see clearly again. You feel more energized. You sleep deeper. You think sharper. You smile more. One study showed that for every 10 millimeters of mercury drop in systolic pressure, the risk of heart attack, stroke, or death drops by 20% or more. That's not theory. That's your future, if you choose it. And here's what surprises many seniors. It doesn't take massive change. Simple steps, done consistently, can lower blood pressure naturally. A short daily walk, breathing deeply for 5 minutes, eating potassium-rich foods like leafy greens or avocados, cutting back on processed salt, managing stress in small but powerful ways. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. And the best part? It's never too late. I've seen 75-year-olds reverse their symptoms. I've seen 80-year-olds come off medications with their doctor's guidance after just a few months of small daily effort. Because when you give your body what it needs, it gives back. So now the question becomes, what's one step you can take today? And more importantly, will you take it? In just a moment, I'll share how you can get started with simple changes right from your home. But first, let's talk heart to heart about what's really stopping most people from making the change they know they need. Let me be honest with you. The hardest part of managing high blood pressure isn't knowing what to do, it's believing that it's still worth doing, even now. You may feel like too much time has passed, like the damage is done, like change is just too hard at your age. But that's a lie high blood pressure whispers in your ear, because every healthy meal, every walk around the block, every quiet moment of breathing instead of stressing, they all count, they all matter, they all push back the pressure that's been trying to steal your life. You are not powerless, you are not too old, and you are not alone. At Senior Health Guide, we're here to walk this journey with you, step by step. No scare tactics, no gimmicks, just science-backed, senior-focused support made for you. So, here's what I want you to do. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Share this video with someone you care about, someone who might be ignoring their blood pressure right now, and leave a comment. What's one small change you're ready to make starting today? Because change doesn't have to be dramatic, it just has to begin. Your heart, your brain, your body, they're ready for you. Now it's your move. We'll be right here every step of the way. See you in the next video.